You said that men obsessed with younger. Why did you put quotes on younger?
Because it's not necessarily younger, but just like the idea of younger.
The idea.
Like more younger. Youthful looking or.
Okay.
Yeah.
You said that men obsessed with younger women. By the way, I want to help you out here.
I know the difference. I was typing.
Women and woman plural, women singular. Okay. Or wait, hold on. Woman is plural.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, whatever. Men obsessed with younger women is because they lack the depth to sustain a woman's unraveling long term, because it requires them to do inner work, mentally evolve. So instead they blame the woman and move on to something they perceive would be easier or less able to call them out. So you think men are intimidated by older women because the older women are not going to tolerate their bullshit?
Yeah.
And okay. I don't know if this is actually the case, but or is it just that men just don't want to deal with an older woman's baggage?
I mean, I think there's many different factors that go into that, but a man is probably more attractive in part to a younger woman because she's more willing to put up with much. He's not going to have to do more accountability or take a look at himself, whereas a woman that knows what she wants and is really looking to have a man be integral and do what he says he's going to do, she'll be more on him for that.
Why do y'all assume men always want to take advantage of younger women?
Well, I'm just saying the topic of that.
The topic of that.
I don't think that's necessarily the case all the time or that it means that, but
is that the general rule that you set?
I think overall, men in general are attracted to younger women, in part because mature women require them to take accountability for things.
What's attraction? What level does attraction operate at?
Desire for.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what do you think the desire is?
To have an easier life, or to
the desire is sexual.
Not necessarily always.
No, it's sexual. Necessarily, it's sexual. You're not going to find a man who's attracted to a younger woman and sexual desire isn't the predominant desire that's there. Do you think it has something to do more with desire? Because you don't see the majority of men walking around with younger women. When we look at studies that show that men are attracted to younger women, they find them physically attractive.
Of course. But I think subconsciously is more my point.
That would be the attraction.
Subconsciously, it's because they're more willing to put up with stuff. But it's
Are they?
I don't, that's not true.
Is it?
Where'd you get that from?
I think in general.
Where'd you get it from?
Even my own experience, I was definitely way more willing to put up with stuff when I was younger than I am now.
So you just believe that that's why men like younger women.
And also, I don't know his name, Lauren
Kren.
Lauren Kren. Yeah, Lauren Kren also says that.
Who is that?
Who the fuck is that
But
guy?
you know Lauren
I don't know
Kren?
who that is.
Yeah.
Who is Lauren
Who the fuck
Kren?
is Lauren Kren?
He's
He?
yeah.
It's a he?
Yeah.
Lorin.
Lauren Kren.
What's he say?
He says that men are more attracted to younger women because to stay with a woman over time, it requires you to do consistent work and not just be comfortable and consistently show up. Whereas if you go for someone younger, they're less likely to do that.
Who is he? Is he a TikToker?
He's on Instagram. He's written books. He's of the spiritual.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, let's just discredit everything he says then. But
exactly.
I'm just fuck it. There's this Hitchens razor. Whatever. That's irrelevant. So this guy on Instagram said some shit, so it must be true.
And it sounded good to me because I'm a woman, and it's spiritual and empowering and enlightening and lovely. Probably, yeah.
He's saying all this shit. He fucks the old women too, but the young girls, he's just going after the young women.
You should pull him up and read stuff before you speak.
Well,
Oh, no,
actually,
you should pull up the Bible before you. Okay.
I'm like
God,
halfway
the
through it.
relationship with God is.
I'm halfway through the Bible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's it say about being a sex worker?
Yeah, to not
The
allure
whole
men.
lust and adultery.
Yeah.
And sin. Anyways, whatever. Okay, so you think men want younger women because younger women are like easier to manipulate? Is that kind of it? They're easier to manipulate?
I'm not even necessarily saying that they are. I'm saying that men probably think that way. And there's other
Yeah,
reasons,
what
of
evidence
course,
do you have
as
for
to
that?
why they're attracted to like younger women. But I think in part,
If you had to steal, do you know what a steel man is?
Steelman now.
So do you know what a straw man is? This is more common. So straw man would be basically like, let's say you're arguing with somebody, debating with somebody. And so a straw man would be, you are going to forward like an inaccurate or just a wrong position that they hold. And you're going to like attack their position that you forwarded, which actually isn't their position. The steel man is the opposite of that. You're going to make the strongest arguments. You're going to present what the other person, their strongest arguments are. So if you had to steel man men wanting to date younger women, what would be like the arguments in favor of that?
From a male brain, that they're younger, hotter, and fertile.
Okay, fertility is part of it, sure.
Oh,
But I'm not
sexual
thinking
desire.
like a
Sexual-
man.
Okay, you're thinking like a they?
Bigger picture,
Are you a they?
deeper emotional
What are your pronouns?
understanding.
Just curious.
She.
You don't know they? Like
Huh?
Zer or anything? No. You don't do Zers? Okay. So I think the big thing, Q, and you talk about this quite a bit, is there's actually a biological and evolutionary basis
Yeah, we
for
talked
men's
about it.
attraction to younger women. One, this comes down to fertility, and this is just biologically like the reality. And then, I was going to go into like paternity uncertainty, but that's more of a body count argument, less than like an age thing. But so
That's the obvious, but to also offer a different perspective and deeper perspective, I think that could be it.
Yeah, but I mean, in practical terms, I've never heard that or actually seen that. Like a guy's like, oh yeah, she's younger, I'm gonna manipulate her. Like I've never seen that happen.
Yeah,
I've
no
never
one's
heard a
gonna-
guy say that because that would be a conscious thing.
That's why I said subconscious.
May I ask a question?
Yeah, subconscious means you aren't aware of it. So I don't think that's happening on a subconscious level.
I said I think it is.
one
Yeah,
thing,
but I don't think it is.
Okay.
one thing before I have you come in, couldn't you make sort of like a reversal of this argument of men wanting younger women because they're easier to manipulate? Do you agree that younger women are just more desirable by men?
Yes, from
Yeah.
a male brain, yes.
Not to say that like women who are in their late 20s, 30s, 40s.
Yeah, no, I don't think that, but I think from a male
But-
brain, yes.
But like if in terms of the attention and attraction going from men towards women, I think we would agree that like younger women have the most optionality and they're receiving the most sexual attention, romantic attention from men. Because of younger women, so let's say that between the age of 20 to 25, because that age cohort, these women enjoy such an abundance of optionality and have so many choices, I think I can make the reverse argument that because of this, because they have so many options, they're harder to manipulate. Whereas a woman who's a bit older, who's like the biological clock is ticking and it's like, I gotta have kids, I think she's much more susceptible to manipulation from a guy who wants a long-term relationship with her, selling her the dream. I'm going to be the one. I'm your future husband. I'm going to be the one who gives you kids. Whereas you tell a college girl, I want a future with you. They don't fucking care. They want to go party and fuck some frat dude. They don't care about, look, some college girls, don't get me wrong, a lot of college girls want a relationship, right? But they have such an abundance of options. Whereas like the woman who's 30, who's still single, who wants to have kids, wants a husband, time is ticking.
She's low hanging fruit.
I think she's easier to manipulate than the 19-year-old who all the frat dudes want to fuck, who all the dudes want to fuck, NFL players in their
Not if
DMs,
she's-
NBA players in their DMs.
Not if she's independent and she's not if she
Who's
can
she?
afford
The
a
older
certain
woman or the
lifestyle.
younger woman?
Older woman.
If she's independent
And she can afford a certain lifestyle she wants.
I'm not talking about survival. I'm not talking about she can live forever and pay for her own shit. I'm talking have a family and have kids. Some women don't want that, but women who do want that, if you're 19, you have a long period of time before you actually you're not really that rushed. But a 35-year-old woman, time is ticking. Something's gotta happen soon. So I think I can manipulate, I could manipulate that situation easier, I think.
For argument's
I just sell the
sake,
dream. Oh, yes, I want to have kids with you. I want to get married, boom, boom, boom. I can't use that. You think I can manipulate a 19-year-old and be like, I want to have babies with you? She's like, I don't fucking care. I want to go party and do college and blah, blah, blah. They don't care. I can't manipulate her that way.
This was my last relationship, actually. He fed me.
Right?
The dream.
And you love that guy probably a lot.
No, I had my hesitations, but because I want that life, I was going along with it.
You want the kids, right? And he was selling you the dream.
He already had kids too.
Oh, yeah, the kids. Ooh,
yeah,
okay.
yeah. So I was filling in that role for him. So I was putting myself out there, and that's why it was very hurtful, because I was switching into that mode. And then he switched it up on me, saying he didn't want any more kids. So there's manipulation happening on both ends, and that's what we're all talking about here. But we all have to hold ourselves accountable.
Sorry, Q, did you have something on this or?
No, I was just going to end it by saying, when you talk about things that happen, it has to work. That's how things go to happen. So from the biological perspective, the only reason that older men are attracted to younger women is simply because younger women look better and they're more fertile in their youth. There's no evidence that men want to manipulate younger women. That doesn't come to fruition. And as Brian just said, that shit don't work. So there's no evolutionary advantage for happening there for a man to look at a younger woman and say, I think she's easier to manipulate. That's why I'm correcting you. Scientifically, that's incorrect.
Agree with it, so.
Scientifically it's incorrect. You can
also
wait, hold up.
Yeah.
Because this kills me. Scientifically, it's incorrect. There's no evidence for it. So you can disagree all you want, but there's no evidence for it. All the evidence shows that men like younger women due to the fact that they're more fertile. It's biological. It's only biological.
It's able to be calculated, so yeah.
But hold on, can I ask my question? Do men care about having a woman they can have deep conversations with? And is this factored in at all? Because we're keeping it on a purely sexual level and having children. But what about I want a best friend feeling. I want the person that I'm going to go against the world with. Yeah. And that goes with personality types matching up, being able to laugh together. There's a whole bunch of other stuff we're not including.
Well, I think depth is more about intimacy in the form of conversation and being able to relate in terms of the relationship, not necessarily deep conversations where I'm not gonna have philosophical conversations with a woman in most cases. My girlfriend is very intelligent, but we don't really get deep on philosophical things. We just understand each other, and we're more emotionally attuned. So in that sense, I guess you could say depth comes in the form of emotional attunement, which builds intimacy, which just makes us feel closer. And then when we have experiences together, having shared values, wanting to do the same things and enjoying those moments, I think that's more what we cultivate in terms of depth. But when deep conversations, what are we really going to talk about? I understand the sentiment, but
anything about your beliefs, anything. Why not?
But it doesn't actually play out like that.
Why not?
Just because it's just what most of the time we're just trying to relate to each other about what we like, not necessarily about what we talk about, but just shared experiences, doing things together, and just saying how much we appreciate one another and things like that, the depth that we may feel for each other on the basis of love as opposed to external stimuli, what's going on in the world, current events. And
this just actually I love speaking about general things.
Yeah, a lot of people do.
Knowledge in general, I like it. Even my boyfriend really loves to talk about, he loves reading. I love reading. We have different
I gotta get
tastes.
it back on topic. I apologize to cut you off, but then
I wasn't saying you can't do that, but I'm
best friends with him.
Yeah.
I guess final thing on this thing. So you think it's manipulation, but wouldn't you agree that like manipulation or even abuse can happen in like same age relationships?
Yes.
And could you envision a scenario where a same age relationship could be more abusive or more manipulative than a like age gap relationship?
Yes.
Yeah. So I mean, this can occur at any age. I don't know if there's actually any evidence that age gap relationships have more or less controllingness or abusiveness or manipulation. I also think that the reality is, like, most 20-year-old girls are just not going to be attracted to like the vast majority of 30-year-old men, or so it's kind of like, I don't know what kind of, like, it's not a given that a 30-year-old guy can get any single 20-year-old girl. So like, if you just if you're incapable of getting like the majority of 20-year-old women into relationships, like how really good can you actually be if you're just blanket unattractive to the majority of this age cohort? How potent would your manipulation even be? So I think that's a component to it.